Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to today's session on goal management nuggets. You know that we had started this with goal management and various aspects of it, and we have been covering this for many sessions now. And we are now starting from the last 2 weeks talking about nuggets on goal management. So we are also looking forward from you any other aspects of goal management that you would like us to cover so that we can keep including them as we go along. So let me just do a little bit of recapitulation that on last Monday, which was 5th of April, I shared my views on the VUCA D3 world that we are living in. And we also saw how this has further been aggravated during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, all those who have not been watching this are requested to please have a look at this, and I'm going to put a link here. Uh, have a so here is a link which will take you to the previous episode, because in the previous episode we have talked about VUCA. I'll talk about a little bit about that, but to link with what we said last time to what we are saying today, it'll be prudent for you to go back and listen to this replay whenever you get time. Right. So now I am coming today to the topic of goal management in turbulent times. Goal management in turbulent times. And what we are talking about is the VUCA D3 world. Now, I explained this last time. What does VUCA D3 world mean? And if you remember, and for those who didn't, I said you will have to go and see the replay. It will be worth it. Okay. VUCA world is the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. A, a trendy corporate acronym that came up somewhere in the late 80s or 90s, where the American Army, the Marine Corps particularly, came out with this idea that they need to train their Marines a little differently to face the changing, fast, rapidly changing environment that is going on, right? I have added three D's to it because from that time till now, more than 20 years ago, we certainly have had lots of different things that are affecting us. And certainly the world has become more diverse, disruptive, and digital. So we really need to cater for that. Now we found that the solution to combat this also comes from VUCA, which is vision, understanding, clarity, and adaptability. It is just 2 days back that I came across this lady, Fahmida Mohammed from Sri Lanka, and she came out with another one, and I love that acronym, so I borrowed it from her, and that is being valiant, unlimited, celestial, and ambitious. Isn't that great? Okay, so now having covered that, I thought that as a leader or an entrepreneur, it is easy to understand and follow the concept of VUCA D3. But when we apply it in our organizations or businesses, and whether you are individuals or teams or organizations, when we get onto the implementation part, we have a lot of challenges and we get stuck in the implementation. So I thought, let us cover each one of them. Let's go a little deep and understand each one of these terms. And before I go to each of these aspects of VUCA, the characteristics that we are talking about, let us go a little. Let's first understand the overall thing of VUCA D3 world. What is the impact, right? So firstly, I want to say that when we are going to cover each one of them separately, there will be a certain overlap, because when we are talking that it's a volatile world, it's an uncertain world, it is a complex world, and it is a ambiguous world. Now, when you're talking of that, obviously all these terms are not watertight compartments. There'll be a certain amount of overlap. But what we are going to do is we're going to cover the basic aspects of each one of them. And why we need to really understand this and why I've got the subject coming up is that the VUCA environment can really destabilize people and make them anxious. It can sap their motivation. It can make them nervous and affect their careers. Make constant retraining, and reshaping, which becomes a very, very big necessity. It takes away too huge a time and effort to fight this condition if you are not well prepared. It increases the chances of people making bad decisions because time is short and you quickly want to take a decision, and sometimes you don't have time to take deliberate and considered decisions. The decision making process can generally be paralyzed, and it can take a toll on the internal culture of a company. And therefore, it is very, very important that we identify, prepare, respond, and deal with the situation and the challenges that we are confronting, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover each one of these separately every day. So, we'll do volatility today, we will do uncertainty on Monday, we will do uh, complexity again on Thursday, ambiguity on the next Monday, and then we will end up with one day we'll cover all the 3 Ds also, right? So today we are covering volatility, right? What is volatility is something that we need to understand very well, and I'm going to take you through this little uh, aspect of VUCA. What does it do today? What challenges it throws for us? And what can we do about it? So before I go on to that, let me just welcome all of you and see who all have come. So I see Dr. Deepu Kumar has come. Very good. Thank you very much. And I'm so happy and thrilled to see my friend Sagar Amlani here. Sagar, thank you very much for making it convenient to come, and your presence makes a lot of difference. Okay, so I was looking forward to more people joining in. Maybe they join up a little later. Yeah, okay. So let us now continue talking about volatility, and we just said that we need to cover each of these and understand them, that what do they mean, what do they throw up as a challenge, and then how are we going to tackle them. So firstly, let me explain that volatility simply relates to the reaction time. The world has always been changing, and we've always said that change is the only constant. We always knew that. But the difference between change earlier and change now is the speed of change, the rapidity. The change is happening too fast. And I've been telling students in all my programs that one of the biggest challenges for today's young generation is how to cope up with the speed of change. They have to prepare themselves, they have to train themselves, and so is it for everyone else to cope up with the speed of change. And that is the main thing in volatility. How do we do that? Now, as a challenge appears, it comes as a surprise. Generally, is a surprise. It is generally unexpected. It is unstable, and we are certainly or generally not sure how long will it last. We don't know the duration. We don't know. It comes and then it throws everything out of balance. There can be a lot of ups and downs. It can come in spurts, and it creates a turbulence. Now, what is the characteristics of this? It comes and creates all this chaos, all right, but it is not very hard to understand. And generally, the knowledge of it is available, only that you're not able to take speedy action. So speedy action becomes a biggest challenge. Okay, it will require generally new skills to combat it and to overcome the challenge, right? So you're talking about some examples of this. What could be the examples? Prices could fluctuate. Different industries may have different challenges, and it all depends that VUCA doesn't come, or volatility is not applicable to all industry in equal way. Some industries will face it more, the others will face it less, right? The job market can vary and things like that. Now let's see, what do we do about it? The first thing, of course, is I feel that it can be countered by, and we have covered this earlier, it can be countered by uh, imagination. It can be countered by imagination and forethought. Now, these are the two things that are very, very important when it comes to combating volatility. Firstly, let's see the vision. We need to have a very, very strong vision, because if you have created a vision, then rest of it really, really can be easily managed. Vision to battle against the volatile. Okay, vision against the rapid change, the speed. Vision clearly focused on the people. What are the people going to face as challenges, and how are we going to tackle the people's capability of handling those challenges? Then we should have some right directions. That means that we should, in our SOPs and all, have informed choices that if this happens, you can do this. If this happens, you can do this. This is beautifully done in the army, where the principle of war called forethought comes with contingency planning, and we always try to see what else can happen. And if this happens, what could be my reaction or response or solution? And if you have done this, what have you done? You have prepared your organization, you prepared individually, you prepared yourself. Your brain is knowing that if this happens, I already have a solution. You don't have to think of it afresh. And even if you have to think of it afresh, because you've had so many other solutions, this becomes a little easier, right? In creating a vision, you must also have a strategic and long-term perspective, that what is the effect of those decisions and how do I take them. So imagination, as I said, is a very, very, very important thing. Let me take a pause here again and see who are there, and do we have any questions, comments. Very happy to see Chandar Sharma, my friend. He's here. And Joyita is new. I have not seen her before here. Joyita, welcome. Then I have Dr. Labh Singh. Speed in volatility is directly proportional to amount of uncertainty, and hence more challenging to manage. Very, very well said. Very well said. Anil Goswami says VUCA COVID is blessing in disguise for vegetable, grocery, chemists, and online traders. I don't really see, understand what you're saying, Anil, and I don't also know whether that would really, I haven't understood that. Okay. Dr. Labh Singh, okay, that's about him. Okay, that's very good. Thank you, Dr. Labh Singh. Okay. And we have Commander Prabha, of course, Sagar Amlani. Okay, so thank you all of you who are here. I also find another gentleman come in, and that is Arun Chakravarti. Thank you, all of you. Thanks to all of you for coming in. So far we have talked about how volatility as a part of the VUCA environment is going to impact us in our organizations for creating our goals. So we are talking about goal management. And in this goal management, we are generally wanting to see how will we combat the situation, how will we deal with it, how will we manage the situation. Okay, and today we are talking about volatility. So we have just said that one of the ways to combat volatility is vision. That is very, very important, right? Now, when we are talking of vision, Let me explain a little more. We said that I've already explained that this is a change that you have to accept as being a constant, and it is an unpredictable feature of the working environment. So, first thing is, it should go into the DNA of your teams that don't resist it. Embrace it, accept reality. It was very nice for us to see Marshall Goldsmith somewhere in the month of May in a presentation saying that you guys in India, आपके गीता में लिखा है, जो है सो है, embrace reality. Let's not waste our time in saying why is COVID happened, why is this uncertainty come about. No, it is just not. It is just not to doesn't help you in any way to wish it wasn't there. We are specifically talking about embracing it and see what's to be done. So we focus on the solution, we don't focus on the problem. Okay. Now, if we have a very strong, compelling statement of team objectives and values, and we have developed a clear shared vision for the future, then our challenges that we face due to a VUCA environment will certainly be diminished to quite an extent. Not that they're going to vanish, but all these things which I'm saying make it easier for you to handle it than it would be done otherwise. Okay. Now, another thing which I'm talking a lot in my goal management workshops, and I'm doing one on the 24th of April, we are going to be discussing a lot on flexible goals, because goals, particularly in the year 2021, are not going to be as simple as they have been in the past years. So whatever methods you have used for your previous year's goals are not going to function this year. So we have to be flexible, and I've got some study done on it. I've got some formulae or a few tips on how to handle goals in 2021, which is going to be quite different from the previous years. Right. Now, if you have got flexible goals, then what happens is your teams can amend them when necessary, and this allows the teams to negotiate the unsettled, unfamiliar situations and respond and react rapidly to such changes. The caution here is that this flexibility should not be taken as an excuse for not accomplishing goals. So there is a very, very good chance that people take this, that it's flexible, so let me change my goals. If I couldn't do it, let me be flexible. Flexibility doesn't mean that. Flexibility means that you have those contingency plans, and if the situation is such, then you be flexible in adapting to that and twitching your goals accordingly. Right. Now, I told you I've come across this lady called Famida Muhammad, and she comes out with another solution. And volatility, she says, can be countered by being valiant. And what does valiant mean? It means that you're boldly courageous, you're brave, stout-hearted, like a valiant soldier. So if you're heroic, if you're bold, if you can take risks, then you are one of those who can do it, right? So I've got a good comment coming up from Kailash Chaudhary, and he says flexible goals or dynamic goals which can be defined on the basis of situation. Yes, I think that's a very good point. I totally agree with you there. Whether we call them flexible or we call them dynamic, you have to understand their relevance. And the relevance is very, very important, which means, as I said, that you can't be flexible to make it as an excuse of not doing something. Flexible is that you can twist your goals to meet the situation, but still get your objectives. That is very important. Ultimate goal has to be met. paths may be different. Yes, very, very, very right. Good, Prabha. That's a good point. Okay, so I have finished here, and I would now look forward to anyone having any questions or comments before we close. I would request you to give us your questions, your comments, and also uh, to make it interactive, it'll be good if I know what all are you looking for, so that next time I can include those things which you are looking for. So this also goes for all those who are not here present on the live and will possibly see the recording later, whether you do it on YouTube, on LinkedIn, or on Facebook, because we are going live on these three platforms simultaneously. I also cover this on Instagram because I have a lot of following on Instagram which are not on these three platforms. So what I do on Monday and Thursday here, I do it on Tuesday and Friday. That means the next day on Instagram at 7 p.m. So if you missed out or you want to hear a little more casual conversation, then you can be there with us. Okay. So here is the link which I have already given in the on the screen, and it's been made very simple. BSB is Brigadier Shield Basin, live is LIV is small to cater for the live, and VUCA 1. So the next one will be VUCA 2. So that is a bit.ly link for you to see the recording of the previous one, because if you have not gone through the VUCA, then you may not get the link of what we have spoken today. Okay, so I'm looking for any questions, any responses, any comments. We should not focus on expectations, but acceptance. Yes. Focus on the solution, not on the problem. Focus not on the expectation, but acceptance. So if there are no more questions, if there are no more comments, then I'll just wait for another 1 minute and then end the broadcast. Thank you very much to all of you who have come, and it really gives me very encouragement to see all of you coming there. Thank you very much.